All right, let's just get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about a huge idea that might just change the way you get things done. We're going to make a bold claim: motivation is a scam. And we're going to show you how to replace it with something way more reliable. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about that feeling we all know, the motivation roller coaster. Then we'll get into why I'm calling it a scam. After that, we'll introduce the solution, something called an execution system. And don't worry, we'll show you exactly how to build one and wrap up with a huge mindset shift about taking action before you feel like it.
Okay, so first up, the motivation roller coaster. I think we've all been there, right? You have days where you feel like you can conquer the world, and then nothing. You're just stuck, waiting for that feeling to come back.
No, really, just think about it for a second. That big project you're supposed to be working on, or maybe just hitting the gym, or making that phone call you've been putting off. You know you should do it, but you just sit there, waiting for some kind of magical spark that, let's be honest, rarely ever shows up on schedule.
And this right here, this is the trap. It's this crazy, frustrating loop we get stuck in. We want to do something, but then we decide we have to wait to feel like doing it. And when that feeling doesn't magically appear, well, we just give ourselves a pass to do absolutely nothing. It's a perfect recipe for procrastination.
So this brings us to the big idea, the core of this whole explainer. It's time to seriously challenge this conventional wisdom we've all been fed about what it takes to be productive. Okay, let's just say it plainly. Motivation is a scam. Now hold on. That doesn't mean the feeling of being motivated isn't real or doesn't feel good. It does. The scam part is the idea that this feeling is a requirement for action. We treat this incredibly unreliable, totally fleeting emotion like it's a permission slip we have to get before we can start. And that's the whole problem. Just look at the difference when you put them side by side. Motivation is all over the place. It's emotional, it comes and goes, and waiting for it is a totally passive game. But a system is the exact opposite. It's dependable, it's logical, it's consistent, it's active. You know, trying to build your life on motivation is like trying to build a house on a cloud. A system is a foundation made of solid concrete.
So if motivation is the unreliable friend who always cancels at the last minute, what's the alternative? Well, it's called an execution system. And this is your ticket off that emotional roller coaster.
So what exactly is an execution system? It sounds kind of technical, but it's actually super simple. It's a pre-planned process. Think of it like a simple recipe or an if-then statement. If this specific thing happens, then I will do this specific thing. The real magic here is that it separates the decision from the action. You make the choice once, when you're feeling calm and logical. Then, when it's time to act, you don't think, you don't debate, you just do.
And the benefits here are just huge. First off, because it's a plan, it's completely emotion-proof. It works whether you're feeling amazing or totally blah. It also crushes decision fatigue because you're not constantly asking yourself, should I do it now? How do I feel? The decision's already been made. And the best part? It automatically starts building momentum by forcing you to focus on the action itself, not on how you feel about the action.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually build one of these things for yourself? Let's get into the practical nuts and bolts of it. And trust me, it's way simpler than you might think. There are really just 4 simple steps. Step 1, define the action. And you have to be brutally, almost comically specific here. It's not write my book. It's open my laptop and write one single sentence. You want to make it so small it's impossible to say no to. Step 2, choose a trigger. Link that tiny action to something you already do every single day without fail, like making your morning coffee. So the rule becomes, right after I pour my coffee, I will write one sentence. Step 3, remove all friction. Make it ridiculously easy to start. The night before, lay out your workout clothes, open the blank document on your computer and leave it there. You want to make it harder not to do it. And finally, step 4, the golden rule, execute, don't evaluate. When your trigger happens, you just go. You don't check in with your feelings, you don't ask if you're in the mood. You just follow the plan. And all of this leads to the final, and maybe the most powerful idea we're going to talk about today. We have to completely flip the script on how we think action and feelings are related. This is the whole ballgame, right here. The old rule, the one we've all been taught, is that motivation comes first, and then it leads to action. But that's completely backwards. The new rule, the one that actually works, is the total opposite. Action comes first, and that action creates motivation.
Progress is the most powerful drug for motivation. You don't feel your way into doing things, you do things to start feeling good.
And the results really do speak for themselves. When you're just waiting around for motivation to strike, your progress is patchy at best. It's slow and inconsistent. But when you use an execution system, you get consistent, reliable action that builds on itself day after day. And that leads to way, way higher progress. It's not even a fair fight. Systems beat feelings every single time.
So, I'll leave you with this one final thought. What if we all just stopped searching for motivation like it's some lost treasure? What if we realized it's not something you find at all, but something you create, something you manufacture every single day with small, simple actions? That's the real power here. It's not about being a robot, it's about becoming the architect of your own momentum.